make-believers. In today's video, I am doing the Marvel Avengers Book Tag. And today I've decided to dress up as Black Widow. You know, she's got her shiny onesie thing, and I don't actually have a red head wig, but I thought this was quite fiery-ish, reddish, you know, in a way, with the fire and the red. I'm doing my best. So this tag was originally done by YA By The Way, and then it was modified by Poland and Bananas Books. So I have kind of picked and chosen what I wanted to do and morphed both their different versions of this tag into one. It is 10 Marvel Avengers characters questions related to books. The first question is Iron Man, and it's your favorite first in a series. So from my book series, which first book did I love the most? One of my favorite first in a series was definitely Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I absolutely loved this book. I loved everything about it, the story, the action, the characters, the pacing. I really just, I couldn't wait to get the sequel, Glass Sword, and I literally hunted down its sequel because I really loved this book when I read it. It's definitely one of my favorite firsts in a series. Question 2 is Captain America. And it says, a book that you really like that's from a different time period. Now, because Captain America is from the past, I took it to mean like a historical fiction book, and I haven't actually read that many historical fiction books, so I decided to choose a different time period, as in the future. And one of my favorite future reads is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's set in space because the humans have just destroyed the Earth, and it's set many years in the future. Question 3 is Thor, and it's a book character that you liked more once they were casted in a movie. Now, for me, a character that I didn't particularly like in the book, but that I absolutely loved in the TV show, is Jamie Fraser from Outlander. In the books, I found him to be quite selfish and quite abusive, but in the show, they have just kind of tweaked it so perfectly and modified certain things and characteristics in his behavior and certain things that he might say and certain ways that he might react in such a clever little way that in the show I absolutely love him. I would love to date him, but in the books I was just kind of like, I'm not so sure if this is a healthy relationship. Question 4 is Nick Fury, a character that you love that has a lot of sass. For me, that would be Selena Sadothian from the Throne of Glass series. I love her. She's an assassin and she's badass, but then she also cares about what she wears. She's got style, she likes piano, she's got a lot of sass, she knows what she wants, she knows how to get it. I really like Selena's character. Question 5 is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and it says, name a sibling dynamic that you absolutely love. For me, that is definitely Fred and George from the Harry Potter series. I love these guys. They complement each other so well. They're so kooky and funny, and they just are such a great sibling dynamic. Oh, I just realized I picked up my French version of this book, Harry Potter à l'école de sorcières. Question 6 is Loki, a villain that you love and are possibly attracted to. Now, this villain I've mentioned in many of my videos, and I could quite possibly be in love with him, and that is the Darkling from the Grisha trilogy. I absolutely love him. However, another person actually comes to mind, but I'm not sure if they count as a villain, because in this book there are no villains or heroes, so to speak, but that is definitely Kaz Brekker from the Six of Crows duology. If he counts as a villain, then I definitely love Kaz Brekker, and I'm possibly attracted to him. Question 7 is Ant-Man, a book that you've been meaning to read but just haven't yet. Now, there are many books that I have been meaning to read that I haven't yet, but one that comes to mind that everyone's been talking about for such a long time and saying you have to read it, you have to read it, and that is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And considering that I really wanted to read this book this year, I guess I'm going to be reading it next month. Question 8 is Hulk. Hulk smash. And it says, what book can you not talk about without getting worked up? And for me, that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Now, I tell myself that it is not a part of the series, but then the back of the book says the 8th story 19 years later, and I just don't agree with this, because everything that happens in this book is irrelevant to the actual main beauty of the original 7 books. It's just like a what if episode, and Harry's like a terrible father, and I just don't know. So this book really gets me riled up, and I cannot talk about it without getting hulkish. Question 9 is Black Widow, a side character that you think deserved their own series. For me, that is Amryn, which actually, for all I know, Sarah J. Maas might be writing a book for her, but I would love to have Amryn's story because there is definitely a lot more to Amryn than we know. A lot of her history is secret, and she does some things in this book and says some things, and you're just like, who are you? Where did you come from? I want to know your story. Tell me more about you and your life. I want to know. So I would definitely love to see the story of Amryn in full. Question 10 is Ultron, your favorite snobby child character. And for me, for some inexplicable reason, I really don't know why, I love Malfoy from the Harry Potter series. He likes to come off as a badass, but then deep down he's just a big old softie, and he says things and just does things, and he's just like this typical arrogant little snob, and you just want to smush his face. But at the same time, I really like his character, and I feel like Harry Potter would not be the same without Draco Malfoy. And that is all for today. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye!